Hey, what's up, Seekers? Wanugee with GoldenDragonFortunes, your K-Rap psychic. Hey, and we're here again to do another reading, and this time we're going back to my favorite mahjong tiles to do a reading, and we're using my pink tiles. So because what we're going to do is definitely pink, and it's Jeon Somi. Enik Somi Doma. She's Dutch, part Korean. She's only 18, she's 5'7", she's tall, she's talented, she's beautiful, and she's gone through quite a bit in her young life, in her teen career. And so we want to do a little fortune to see what's going on maybe in her future over the next 6 to 8 months, maybe a year. Just a quick overview, and we'll use my little pink mahjong tiles to help do that. Now, if you think it's easy to be a K-pop idol, just think of Somi. She's been successful, but it hasn't been easy for her. I mean, she started off as a trainee with JYP, and was there when she was just a young teen, and then she was on the elimination show 16, and that was the JYP elimination show that was to develop and create the new girl group that he was going to introduce, and that happened to be TWICE, the 9-member group. And so she was in that competition, but was eliminated and never made it to TWICE. And so then in the following year, that was way back in, 2016, 2015, way back then. She was only, 14, 15, she was very young. And then after that, she was in another elimination show called Produce 101. This was 100 different people competing from, 50 different agencies. And through that whole process, which was like a 10-week series on television, Korean television, I mean, I didn't see it really, but she won. She was number one. She was voted number one by the public and by the people. And so she became part of the group that came out of that Produce 101, which is i.o.i. But that was a temporary group. It was kind of like a one-year contract kind of thing. And so she was part of i.o.i. and performed with that. But then she went back to JYP after that was over, and then everybody's wondering where she was. I mean, she was well known, she was on TV a couple times, she was performing with i.o.i, and then she was back in JYP, and she kind of disappeared for a year or two, or wasn't as, people wondering what's going to happen to her. And then all of a sudden you find out she's leaving JYP, and JYP is coming out with another girl group instead of just TWICE. And so they came out with this other girl group, i.o.i, with 5 members, kind of a teen crush kind of concept. And Somi wasn't part of the group. And she was all well known, and she'd done all these things, and she wasn't part of that group, i.o.i. So she left and went to Black Label, which is a division of it's Teddy Park's kind of group for YG Entertainment. Now, YG Entertainment's going through all kinds of issues, but she finally debuted, did her solo debut, birthday, and so she's finally out. She's finally out on her own, making her music. She's really well known. She's been on TV. Her dad's been on TV, but she's finally out, and we're happy for her. So let's see what the future says for her going forward. So I used my mahjong tiles, and we're going to look at the next roughly 6 to 8 months, maybe to the beginning of next year. And maybe kind of quick look at maybe her love life as well, and so we'll do that. So the center tile here is the lotus, the 5 of bamboo. Now the lotus represents the birth of something new, enlightenment, awakening, kind of expansion and growth, and it seems like that's going to be an underlying theme for the next year, half a year, and which is kind of true because she's kind of got her new debut, solo debut. And maybe that's going to open up some new things for her. These 2 tiles in front, these represent the immediate future over the next 6 weeks. And it seems to say there was a decision or choice. This represents a decision or choice that's been made, and maybe kind of influences things over the next 6 weeks. So maybe that's part of her promotion period. And this one, the next tile in the second position, represents some of her inner thoughts, subconscious thoughts. And this is called the peacock. The peacock represents her. And that, it could represent 2 things. It could represent her mother, and then maybe she's thinking about her mother and what's going on there, but it represents her more specifically, and that she's changing the way she sees herself, that she's realizing she's finally made it out, she's finally debuted as a soloist, and that she's making this transition from the girl, the teenager that she's been, to maybe the woman that she's becoming. So she's thinking a lot about how to create that image and how to move forward with that, and that's what that tower represents. And then if we look over here to the right, and this is roughly about 2 months down the road or so, approximately, says that there's going to be the scholar tile. This flower tile is called the scholar tile, and it represents scholarly pursuits. So even though she's trained a lot and been in the public eye for some time, it seems like there's going to be an opportunity to learn some more, because this represents kind of learning, knowledge, information. So she's been learning a lot more going forward as she's kind of out there and got her solo act out there. And it says that she's going to be very hopeful about things. This represents her hopes and dreams and wishes. So she's very hopeful about all the things she's learning and finally getting out there on her own. And obviously she's a little bit nervous, I think, in her debut, but she did well. But there's obviously time to get more polished. But she's going to be generally happy. This represents happiness. This heaven tile, this Jeon, represents happiness. And in about 3 months down the road or so, we look at these next couple tiles, and it says that there's going to be right around this time, which is about July, August or so, maybe August. There's kind of nice energy around her. This is called the orchid. The orchid represents something beautiful and elegant and lush and exotic, and represents nice energy. And it's kind of a summer flower, kind of August kind of flower, late summer flower. And it says that she's going to be happy around that time too. So somehow she's going to be pretty happy about what she's accomplished and maybe the conditions of what's going on in about 3 months. So that's a great thing. And it says that she may be thinking about starting something new then. But here's the Fa, the green dragon, represents to start or commence in this case. So she might be starting something new. Doesn't say what it is, but something new that maybe it's another comeback, or maybe it's getting into different areas of her career. But something new that's starting to percolate there in about 90 days. So this is roughly June, July, August, around August perhaps. And if we look at the tiles above the center tile, this is about 4 months from now, more or less. Let's see what they say. And it says that there's going to be a couple of things going on. The outer two of these tiles represent maybe some obstacles or challenges. And normally the dragon, the 5 of circles, represents good luck or good fortune, because dragon represents that in East Asian cultures, like this dragon here. Represents good luck or good fortune. But it's kind of blocked. So somehow, things aren't as fortunate as she thought they would be around this time. And this is the inner tile on the other side, this R1, represents a door maybe opening up normally, but this one is kind of blocked too. So somehow a door is not as open as she thought it would be, and maybe the luck isn't as good as she thought it to be. And maybe that's part of this new thing that we were talking about the month earlier. So there seems to be some impediments here, some obstacles, some challenges that she's working through at this time. But the tile in between them is also the dragon, the same tile, the 5 of circles. So it says a little bit later, maybe 4.5, 5 months from now or so, there is going to be some good luck that helps shift and change this energy and helps her get past these obstacles around this time. And if we shift over to the left here, this is roughly about 5, 6 months from now. It says there's going to be something new happening then. Here is the one of flowers. It's called the plum blossom. And the plum blossom is the first tree to bloom in the spring. So it says new things may be opening up, and it seems to be pointing to that it may kind of really happen in the first quarter of next year, 2020, in the spring. It doesn't say what it is, but it's going to be some type of creative thing that she's going to be doing, because the tile that goes with it is called the lute, L-U-T-E, and the lute is a string instrument. It symbolizes a string instrument, so it represents the arts, creativity, performing arts, music, harmony, those things. So something new is happening, and it seems like there's going to be some type of contract being made or written. Because the white tile shows up and suggests that there's going to be some important written documents or paperwork. So it seems like something, I don't know if that's written music or what, but there's something that's written that's going to be kind of coming together here finally, roughly 5, 6 months from now. So this is right around the end of the year or more, or around that time, plus or minus. And it says that's going to give her a chance to let go of some disappointments maybe she had earlier, because this represents healing, emotional healing really, the 3 of bamboo. So it seems like that's going to get things maybe settled as she starts 2020. And then the last 3 tiles here says that the East tile shows up. The East tile represents her. and that it's kind of a reminder that she's beautiful, she's talented, she's got some good experience now, she's got a lot to offer the world. She just has to continue to have confidence in herself. And it's kind of up to her to make it happen, but she's fully capable of making things happen. So she just needs to trust herself and use her best talents and best foot forward. And then the jade shows up and says it's going to take a little bit of time and effort. You know, the jade is just a rock in nature, but with perseverance and effort, it can turn into something more beautiful, like jade jewelry. So this kind of suggests that, you know, it's going to take some time and effort, but she's willing to put that time and effort in. And it says that's going to lead to something roughly about 6 to 8 months from now. So maybe early next year, maybe spring or late winter, with this fire towel showing up. So it's going to be something that may be dynamic and inspiring and attractive to her, like fire, but it also may be risky and could burn some resources, like fire. But she's going to go for it because she feels the benefits outweigh the risk. So that kind of gives an overview going into perhaps early next year, as an overview in general of the energy for Somi moving forward. I pulled some extra tiles here, that have to do maybe with her love life. I mean, she's still very young, but let's see what the tiles say. And on these, I'm going to kind of start from the center and kind of work outwards. So first two tiles say that she just thinks that everything's coming together. She's just going with that. This is the center tile, the Jong. Says that everything's coming together in the right time, the right place right now in the next couple of months, and she's just kind of going with that and riding on that success. So that's great. And it says the next tile is the Phoenix, 3 of circles. And the Phoenix represents a feeling like, okay, she's finally got another chance to kind of grow and start something new and put some disappointments behind her, like the classic myth of the phoenix kind of rising from the ashes of the past and spreading her wings again and reinventing herself a little bit. And so she's had a chance to do that. So that's going to kind of flow for the next couple months, and maybe that's going to be her attention span. But it says in about, let's see, roughly about 3 to 5 months from now or so, as she kind of gets closer to the end of the year, it says that there's going to be a time for her to become more honest with herself, to have a little more clarity. This represents honesty and clarity for herself, and maybe that'll help her kind of make some decisions moving forward about, you know, how things fit in her life. And it says that there may be some options or choices that may show up roughly around the end of the year or the beginning of the new year. This is called the bamboo, the 4 flowers. You know, and bamboo is a very versatile plant. It can be made into chopsticks or a hat or a home. So it implies that there may be choices or options available, particularly in the 4th quarter or into the winter, because bamboo flourishes in the winter time, and this tile represents roughly the 4th quarter or last few months of the year. So it says that there may be some options and choices around that time. Maybe it's around the end of the year music shows, and maybe, you know, she's out there maybe mixing with everybody more than she was able to do perhaps when she was, you know, not hadn't debuted on her own. And the fire tile shows up and says there may be something around that time, maybe 6 months from now or so, that she might find desirable and attractive, but risky. And as you go out a little bit farther, it says that we get these, there's going to be some surprise that happens. The mushroom represents something surprising or unusual that may occur close to the end of the year. And it says that, what does it say here? It says that she's going to be planting some seeds, like the farmer. This flower tower is called the farmer. So it says she may be kind of putting some seeds out there, putting some little hints out there, feelers, you know, putting some seeds to see what grows, what grows over time that she could harvest down the road. Because, you know, she's obviously got a lot of things she wants to accomplish first. But she's going to be planting some seeds, and that makes her hopeful about her love life in general. This represents her hopes, dreams, and wishes. And she's going to be hopeful that maybe something occurs, but she knows she's very committed right now to what she's doing in her career, and it's going to be difficult for her to find, you know, the bandwidth to be committed to and be distracted by a relationship, but she may be feeling it out and hoping that maybe something comes up. You know, she's going to turn, maybe when she turns 19 in next March, maybe that's going to be a big milestone, but, you know, obviously she's got to be careful about her career and all those things, so because she struggled so hard just to get where she is. But there's going to be some opportunity, perhaps, or at least some, you know, some things in the background. So anyway, that's all for now for Jeon Somi. Beautiful girl, talented, you know, just wonderful talent, and we're glad that she's finally out on her own, and she can show her talent once again to everybody who loves K-pop and loves her. Anyway, so that's all for now. Hope you kind of enjoyed it, and we're going to maybe do some other people, of course, so we would like you to like and subscribe and not miss it, so you don't miss the next video. We're going to keep pumping out these videos with these K-pop idols, and we'd love to hear your comments. If you have some comments, if you agree with me, if you kind of know the history of Jeon Somi, or you want to have some other idols that you want to have know about their future, and we do it in many different ways, then please let us know, and we'll try to get to them as soon as we can. So until next time, wishing you all good fortune.
I'm your K-rap psychic. Try me twice, you'll like it. My name is Wanugee. OGs call me Wanugee. I'm a wise fortune teller and a really mellow fella. Ask me about your favorite idol. See their future, see what's vital.